In a concerning development for Samsung Galaxy users, a recently patched security flaw has been exploited as a zero-day vulnerability to deploy advanced Android spyware known as LANDFALL. This targeted attack, primarily observed in the Middle East, has raised alarms among cybersecurity experts and users alike. The vulnerability, identified as CV2025-21042, scored an alarming 8.8 on the CVSS scale. It allowed attackers to execute arbitrary code through an out-of-bounds write flaw in the libimagecodec.quram.so component. This critical issue was addressed by Samsung back in April 2025, but not before it was actively exploited in the wild, with potential targets located in countries like Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Morocco. Palo Alto Networks Unit 42 reported that the attacks primarily involved sending malicious images via WhatsApp in the form of DNG files. Once installed, LANDFALL operates as a comprehensive espionage tool, capable of harvesting sensitive data such as microphone recordings, location data, and personal files. The spyware specifically targets flagship devices, including the Galaxy S22, S23, and S24 series, along with the Z Fold 4 and Z Flip 4. While the exploit chain may have employed a zero-click method to trigger the vulnerability, there's currently no evidence supporting this theory. The sophistication of this attack and the potential for ongoing campaigns highlight the persistent threats facing mobile users today and the importance of staying vigilant against such vulnerabilities. A recently patched security flaw in Samsung Galaxy Android devices was exploited as a zero-day to deploy a sophisticated spyware known as LANDFALL, primarily targeting users in the Middle East. The vulnerability, identified as CV2025-21042, carries a CVSS score of 8.8 and pertains to an out-of-bounds write issue in the libimagecodec.quram.so component. This flaw allowed attackers to execute arbitrary code remotely, and was actively exploited prior to its patch in April 2025. The attacks involved sending malicious DNG image files via WhatsApp, which contained embedded zip files designed to extract a shared object library that facilitated the spyware's installation. Once operational, LANDFALL can harvest sensitive data, including microphone recordings, location data, photos, and call logs. Notably, it specifically targets Samsung's Galaxy S22, S23, and S24 series devices. Unit 42's analysis indicates that the spyware is modular, capable of communicating with a command and control server to receive additional payloads, further enhancing its surveillance capabilities. While no direct attribution for LANDFALL has been established, its infrastructure exhibits similarities to that of the Stealth Falcon group, suggesting a potentially organized campaign. The LANDFALL campaign is rooted in the exploitation of a critical zero-day vulnerability in Samsung Galaxy devices, specifically CV2025-21042, which has a CVSS score of 8.8. This flaw, found in the libimagecodec.quram.so component, allowed attackers to execute arbitrary code remotely before it was patched by Samsung in April 2025. Targeted primarily at users in Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Morocco, the campaign utilized malicious DNG image files sent via WhatsApp to deploy the Android spyware. Once installed, LANDFALL functions as a comprehensive surveillance tool, capable of accessing sensitive data such as location, microphone recordings, and call logs. The attack may have involved a zero-click exploitation method, although no evidence currently supports this theory. The spyware predominantly targets Samsung's Galaxy S22, S23, and S24 models, as well as the Z Fold 4 and Z Flip 4. Analysis indicates that the spyware's command and control infrastructure could be linked to known threat actors, although direct connections have yet to be confirmed. This underscores a broader trend of sophisticated cyber attacks leveraging similar exploit chains across different platforms, highlighting the persistent vulnerabilities that can be exploited even after patches are implemented. The recent exploitation of a zero-day vulnerability in Samsung Galaxy devices has targeted users in the Middle East, specifically in Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Morocco. This flaw, identified as CV2025-21042, permitted attackers to deliver LANDFALL, a sophisticated Android spyware capable of extensive data harvesting, including microphone recordings, location tracking, and access to contacts and messages. The vulnerability, which received a CVSS score of 8.8, was actively exploited before Samsung issued a patch in April 2025. The attack vector involved sending malicious DNG image files via WhatsApp, which contained embedded zip files to execute the spyware. Notably, the spyware is designed primarily for Samsung's flagship devices, including the Galaxy S22, S23, S24, Z Fold 4, and Z Flip 4. While there are indications of a zero-click exploit method, no evidence currently supports its use in this campaign. The operation shows similarities to past activities attributed to the Stealth Falcon group, indicating a possible connection. Ongoing monitoring of the infrastructure linked to LANDFALL suggests that the threat may not be fully mitigated, as related exploit chains affecting both Samsung and iOS devices have been observed recently. To protect yourself from threats like the LANDFALL Android spyware, consider implementing the following recommendations. 1. Update regularly. Ensure that your Samsung devices, particularly the Galaxy S22, S23, S24, Z Fold 4, and Z Flip 4, are running the latest software updates. Samsung patched the CV 2025-21042 vulnerability in April 2025, but keeping your device updated is crucial to safeguard against new threats. 2. Be cautious with links and files. Avoid clicking on suspicious links or downloading unknown files, especially from messaging apps like WhatsApp. The LANDFALL spyware was delivered through malicious DNG files, which can contain hidden exploits. 3. Use security software. Consider installing reputable mobile security applications that can detect and mitigate malware threats. These tools can help identify malicious activities and offer real-time protection against spyware. 4. Review app permissions. Regularly check the permissions granted to your applications. Be wary of apps requesting excessive permissions that are not necessary for their functionality, as they may pose a risk to your personal information. 5. Monitor device behavior. Stay vigilant for any unusual behavior on your device, such as unexpected battery drain, increased data usage, or unfamiliar applications. These could be signs of spyware activity. 6. Educate yourself. Stay informed about the latest cybersecurity threats and vulnerabilities. Understanding the tactics used by attackers can help you recognize and avoid potential risks. The recent exploitation of a zero-day vulnerability in Samsung Galaxy devices has highlighted a significant cybersecurity threat. The Flaw, identified as CV 2025-21042, with a CVSS score of 8.8, allowed attackers to deploy a sophisticated Android spyware known as LANDFALL in targeted operations across the Middle East. This vulnerability, located in the libimagecodec.quram.so component, was actively exploited before being patched by Samsung in April 2025. The attacks primarily targeted users in Iraq, Iran, Turkey, and Morocco, leveraging malicious DNG image files sent via WhatsApp to execute the spyware. Once installed, LANDFALL can harvest a wide range of sensitive data, including microphone recordings, location, and call logs. While there were speculations about a potential zero-click exploitation method, no evidence currently supports this theory. The findings also suggest connections between LANDFALL and other exploit chains affecting both Samsung and iOS devices, indicating a broader trend of sophisticated attacks that can remain undetected for extended periods. As the threat landscape evolves, vigilance and prompt patching remain crucial in mitigating these risks.